What is up, Tress Troop? It is Tress to Impress, and I am Biggity BACK back with another video. And today's video is going to be a flashback to the very first time that I ever posted my signature way of straightening my hair with no flat irons and no relaxer. Stay tuned for the tea. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, save, and share this video. Alright, Tress Troop, this video is a whole lot of. There's going to be a little bit of reminiscing mixed with the tea, mixed with a little bit of a tutorial. So let's get straight into it. I already have my hair section in the same 4 sections that I still use for my wet roller set. You saw that I just applied my setting product to my hair. All of my products are linked down in the description box below, the ones that I currently use. So there are some that I use in this video that are not linked simply because I am not promoting products that I no longer use. But you saw on this first section of my hair that after applying my product, I went ahead and detangled with my Demon brush. Then I'm going in with my fade brush to smooth out my hair. And then I added a little bit more product because it felt like my hair needed it. Adding the product is kind of one of those things where I just do it based on how my hair feels. And when I was using the Demon brush to detangle, I did have every other row of the teeth removed from the brush. So far so good. I pretty much still stick to this whole situation, and my hair was already shampooed, conditioned, and deep conditioned before starting this part of the process. So I actually went back to 2019 on my YouTube, and this video was posted. It is no longer public because of copyright music issues. That's a little bit of the tea that I will get into in just a moment. However, I decided, why not repost this content, bring it back, and maybe I could go over some of the things that I have updated and some of the things that I have decided to stick to as far as my straightening routine goes. Because at this point, if you are new here, you may not know, but if you have been hanging around and you are already a member of the Tress Troop, then you do know that I have been a straight natural for the past year. And the journey has been amazing, and I've been trying to share it with you. I will be posting an update soon. So now you can see that I have repeated this detangling process, adding the setting product and rolling my hair on the rollers down the back of my head. I do still use this type of roller, but I have recently discovered that using them with the snap-on covers, which is linked below, gives me a little bit of a more smoother result. So you can see, even in the video of the hair on the rollers, you can see some little frizzies in my hair. Well, anything that is frizzy while the hair is wet on the roller is going to dry that same way. So you guys are going to see how much more dense and full and healthy my hair was before I had a baby. I have been able to recover the density of my hair tremendously in the past year of using this wet roller set without flat irons technique. But watching this video really helped me to realize that my density is not back to how it was before I had a child. And all of my curl friends, let me know down in the comments, did having a baby change your hair? And if so, was it for better or for worse? I would love to know your story. Now that I have rolled down the back of the center section, I'm coming back up to the front. One thing that I did notice that I did a little bit differently back then than I do now is my sections were smaller for sure down the center section of my head. So maybe I would go back to that. My hair was a little bit longer here, so I'm sure it did decrease my dry time to use smaller sections and more rollers. So now that my hair has grown back out a decent amount, then I might go back to this just to keep my dry time the same, or possibly even decrease it a little bit. I still do use this technique of starting at the crown and moving back and moving forward away from the center of that section, and that is to keep the roots as flat as possible and to keep the rollers from overcrowding and stacking, in my personal experience. Now, while what I'm doing is still a bit repetitive, let's get into a little bit of tea. I posted this video on my YouTube in 2019. This video was split in two. So I did the pre-poo, shampoo, condition, deep condition, detangling, and sectioning all in one video. And then I did what you're seeing now, all in a separate video. This did not go viral at all. So I think more of like the straight, flat, silky type of hair situation was still kind of like the more in thing, and people weren't really doing layers and volume and all of that. Honestly, I don't remember. Y'all clocked me on the trends of 2019 when it came to hair. Let's be clear, the girls were not obsessed, and there was no other video doing this same styling process that I had seen. Prior to me posting this video, my roller set videos were strictly flexi rod sets, which were extremely popular at the time. Those were not even going viral on my channel. My channel was super small at the time. Now, curl friends, by 2021, when the nation had been sick and shut in for a year, and I had gotten my hair cut into a bob, and I refilmed this same technique on my shorter hair, the video went crazy. But it didn't go crazy at first. It had been up for months, y'all, maybe like 4 or 5 months before it began to go viral, like crazy viral, like past 1 million views viral. Now, currently, that video is still pinned to the top of my homepage of my YouTube channel. We're on the topic. Check and make sure you are subscribed to your girl and you check out that video. My curls were very, very healthy in that video, and my length was a lot more modest in that video. So you can see where I came from, okay? Also, that was not my last big chop. That was in 2021. So roughly a year ago, 2024, around this time, I chopped off 7 inches off the length of my hair. Up to March 2024, I had severely damaged my hair with flat irons, and the density of my hair was also lacking due to postpartum hair loss. So I could see where the new growth was coming in since I had my baby, and I decided let's just cut off the length a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time turned into me cutting 7 inches, and just allow this hair to fill in a more healthy manner. And it has been thriving because from March 2024 up until now, I was a straight natural, just doing my wet roller set and wrap technique that I'm doing in this video. And I give it a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend. The hard part is mastering the process. You have to have a lot of patience and be willing to practice and be willing to have kind of like a backup hairstyle situation if the roller set does not come out perfectly. Every roller set does not come out perfectly, especially when you're in the learning process. Now, do mine come out much better now? Yes, it's pretty much like a guaranteed hairstyle for me now. But in the beginning stages, especially like where I was in the footage that you're watching right now, it was not always a guaranteed like, oh, my hair is going to look amazing, 10 out of 10. You know, I had to practice. My products are still changing and my technique is still evolving to get a smoother and more long-lasting result. And I am currently working on some education materials for you guys so that you can learn this process in more detail than what I put in these YouTube tutorials. So go ahead and tap into the information while it's free, honey, because it won't always be free. Your girl is becoming an entrepreneur. Now, this right here was one of the ways that I was able to tell that my hair was so much more dense at the time that I recorded this video than my hair is now, because I was not even able to fit the rollers in this section of my hair the way that I roll them now. I had to kind of switch it up a little bit, and that's what it's all about. Every hair texture is different. Everybody's head size is different. Everyone's density of their hair is different. So yes, I've mastered this technique, but I've also mastered it on my head and my hair. So there are going to be some things that you have to tweak if you are interested in this style to make it fit your own head or all of your clients' heads and so on. That, my friends, is where it gets tricky, especially when it comes to you guys wanting me to not only entertain you, but also teach you how I do this process. Now, here, I sprayed all over my head with a heat protectant spray, which I need to be more careful to make sure that I do that step in my technique now. However, I was using my hair dryer on a super, super hot setting back then, which I don't do now. Do y'all see those roots? Do y'all see the density of my hair, the fullness and the health of my hair? I know it looks like my hair is wet at the roots, but it's not. It just dried, waved up like that because it was wavy on the rollers. But the next steps take care of that. The next steps take care of that. Look at how full and healthy and shiny and bouncy that hair is. Y'all, my hair was so thick, it looks like cotton. I wish I could get that density back, but I'm working on it. And when I master it and I get it back, I'm going to share all of that with you guys as well. When it comes to thick, luscious, healthy, shiny, long hair, there are so many factors that go into it. You have genetics, number one. Yes, that does very much play a role. Your diet very much plays a role. And then the obvious, which is your hair care. How you take care of your hair and what products you're putting in your hair and on your scalp. And baby, the hair came out so good, I had to play in it for a little while after I got all the rollers out. Okay, so a lot of y'all like the hair like this, and you ask me all the time, why don't I just leave the curls like this? Why do I do the next step? Well, this is not going to last, at least not for me. So that's why I continue with the next steps, because the whole purpose of me spending 3 hours to do this hairstyle is for the longevity. And so that my daily routine is extremely low maintenance, because that helps me to retain length. Clock the T, okay? So the next step is to comb through all of my hair. And then I actually applied grease to my hair, y'all. So that product is not linked down in the description box, because why would I promote products that I no longer use? But you can see that I'm combing sections of my hair. Then I am parting off sections of my hair to start off my wrap, and I'm getting it as smooth as I possibly can, as flat as I possibly can, small sections at a time, and I'm using my paddle brush, and then I'm following that up with a bristle brush to get my hair as smooth around my head as possible. Now, you might say, why would you comb all the curls out? The curls are going to bounce back. The curls were set with a setting product and completely dried on my head. It's going to take more than a wrap to get my hair completely straight. I would literally need to flat iron it to get it straight. You're going to see when I unwrap it, the curls will bounce back to a certain extent. They're just not going to be as tight, and the roots are not going to be puffy anymore. Now, it's insane to me that I was able to put straight up hair grease on my hair, but it was so dense that actually helped. And my hair is extremely high porosity, so it just drinks hair grease. Now that it's thinner, I don't grease it like I used to, but my hair sucks up any product that I put on it. So that part about the routine has definitely changed. I have replaced that with a silkening serum rather than a hair grease. And now I am doing the step that I do still use, which is wrapping my hair with saran wrap. Now, how this came about is the stylist that I saw doing it was doing it on a silk press, and she used a shower cap. But I like to use the saran wrap because I can lock the hair down tightly to my head, and it helps to straighten my hair out. And then I get back up under the hair dryer. Now, back then, I probably was getting back under the hair dryer with it on a high temperature setting. I'm not sure. I don't remember. And it was not in the voiceover of the video. So I don't know that part. But this is me coming back out from up under the dryer, twisting this saran wrap off, and parting my hair to let it down. Immediately you can see there is still some texture at the roots, but it's nowhere near the same amount of waviness and texture that we saw when I just simply took the rollers out. And that, my curl friends, is why I do this step. It looks a little bit flat now, but the more that I comb through my hair and style my hair and flip the hair around, you will start to see some of the curls bounce back. Not only that, but you start to see this bit of styling where it almost gives the illusion that my hair was cut in layers because the curls look that good. Look, bam, there it goes. You see how it almost gives the illusion as the curls bounce back that my hair is cut in layers? And I don't think it was layered at this point. Not beyond just like a natural layering effect just from my hair growing out. And you can see that crown section is a little thick. I had to kind of comb it out. Good luck to anyone trying to tell me about myself, because you cannot tell me this hair is not silky, dense, healthy, shiny, voluminous, all of the things, and without a flat iron. Y'all saw the transformation with your own eyes. Thank you for hanging out with me, curl friends. Don't forget to save this video, like, comment, share, and I will see you in the next one.